Hello my friends and welcome back. It is episode 138. It's time to kill some dudes. I get the feeling that this will be quick. Let's see if I can line up some dudes. Perfect.
Your numbers mean nothing to me. Your end was inevitable.
Why is the camera bobbing and weaving? Oh, it's like motion sickness inducing. Look, even the UI is bobbing and weaving. Oh, it's horrible. It wasn't doing this before I went to have dinner.
I'll make it happen.
In the name of House Orcelio, I shall prevail.
Habendum.
I am his will made manifest. As the Emperor commands, they are now eradicated.
Splat.
Faith without deeds is for you, my Emperor.
Faith without deeds is for you, my Emperor.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
You kinda got that one a bit wrong.
Didn't flinch. I'll see to it personally.
Me? Never in 1,000 sectors. Don't get too cocky.
I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands, each strike is a prayer.
Each strike is a prayer. Man, she's so good at cleaning out the trash.
You've got a problem. I've got a prize.
Probably should have used the big rifle against that. Oh wow, she's also got Finest Hour ready to go.
They'll write legends about me.
I'll make it happen.
Man, this is going to be over before this guy even gets a go. Oh, that's a bit annoying, isn't it? Oh well.
It's as good as done. Never stood a chance. I'll see to it. Who, if not me? Another enemy is already calculated.
For the Emperor!
Okay.
I don't need luck. I have strategy.
The battle just kind of restarted out of nowhere. Apparently this has got friendly fire, so I guess I should lay off.
I'll make it happen. It's as good as done. I'll see to it personally.
Well, since this
I'll make
counts
it
as a
happen.
separate battle, that means that my ultimates are back, which means that I can finest our
I'll
Argenta
paint your
again.
death in colors.
Doubt is for the weak.
Controlled rapid fire shot. Let's go.
Eradicated.
As the Emperor commands, why I will toast. Strike is a prayer.
On it.
Each strike is a prayer.
High momentum.
I hold all the cards.
It shall be your finest hour.
Faith without deeds.
Alright. Turns out that whatever kind of, like, special trick that he had going on that was going to save him did not save him. When I first learned of this planet's existence, of the great relic that lies before us, decided that I was chosen for a great destiny, that the saint whose name I bear had summoned me, led me through the void and the nightmares of the moor so I could enter the sacred halls of this ship and accept her boon. But never mind that. I thought myself special, chosen, worthier than all my sisters, even back when I was a novice. Pride. I was blinded by pride. In reality, every step of my way here was fraught with errors. This cannot go on. I must cleanse myself. I will enter the sacred ship to beg forgiveness, and I will emerge renewed. I know it. I believe. You speak as though you intend to go in alone. I do. This is my personal trial, rogue trader. Besides, it is so written in the life of Saint Argenta that pilgrims may enter the ship one by one, for their deeds must be first measured. Every pilgrim will thence be permitted to behold the relic or denied the right according to their past actions and the strength of their faith. What if I too wish to enter the ship? You may, but you must wait for my return. Understand that the ship is more than a curious ancient sight waiting to be explored. The ship itself is a relic imbued with great power. You saw it yourself. Even a sinister sorcerer, the arch-enemy's servant, in all that time could not find a way inside. Only pilgrims may enter, and only those whose soul is without flaw. Only the worthy, whom the saint accepts, may enter these gates. The undeserving will be rejected. I am ready to accept her verdict. Lord Captain, please return to the ship. I urge you to hurry. The storm is coming, the one I warned you about. You can't survive on the planet's surface.
Keep your wits about you. Just as I planned.
Rejected! Two days later. Rogue trader, the familiar voice greets you, and yet so much about it is unfamiliar. Argenta shows no sign of her former stubborn audacity. Her eyes have sunken and her face looks haggard, yet filled with certain desperate zeal that you do not remember seeing before in her. Forgive me, Rogue Trader, my emotions got the better of me and I ran. It was an unworthy urge. One that will never see the light of day again. Everything will be different now. Everything will be different? What are you talking about? I'm talking about myself, what I am. You saw everything. You saw the sacred ship reject me. The ship that only the worthiest may enter did not deem me one who deserves that right. And for that, I thank the Emperor and the Saint who gave me my name. I offer this gratitude with all my heart. What happened cured me of my curse of pride and showed me the depth of my weakness, errors, and flaws. The path to redemption is known to me. It has always been. My mentors are not here to conduct the appropriate rites, but it matters not. In my heart, I am now a Sister Repentia. One whose sole remaining purpose is to die with honor and atone for her transgressions. Don't Repentias not wear armor, though? Most of these are kind of useless now. First time that momentum reaches 200 during the Psycho's turn, the Psycho gains 5 to all characteristics, 1 to resolve, 1 to deflection, 1 to all damage that the Psycho deals until the end of combat. Let's go with that. Hymns of Hatred sounds good to me. Sure. Your pilgrimage is
Following you
complete.
into the flames of battle will grant me a chance of purification. And that is all I want. It is all I think about. A righteous death and peace thereafter, should he choose to grant it to his unworthy daughter.
I get the feeling that you're not supposed to, it's not supposed to end that way, and I probably said the wrong things, but whatever. Maybe I can enter the ship.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
shields me.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
I will endure.
Mere pain won't stop me.
Just a minor setback.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust. I've faced worse than this.
Huh. Oh well, I guess that's that. That was a bit anticlimactic. See, we need to return to Warehouse 4. Which should be connected to... I was gonna say, it should be connected to one of my main worlds. Try the other one. For you, my emperor! An anomalous warp storm has cut the system off from the rest of the galaxy and is presently driving the population insane. Declare a hunt for the awakened psychers. Hold prayer services to project subject souls. Equip punitive squads to hunt down the infidels. The warp storm caused the manifestation of many sorcerers. They were all sedated and captured. The end. Wow, it was almost not even worth my time. Okay, we need to go to the Orselio prophecy and do that one as well. Which is around here somewhere. There it is. There's actually no fast way to get to it. Those grenades, even though I don't use them, they're like adding up to serious reputation I can then trade for things that are usable. Ah, nice. The event that gives you some more navigation insight. Sweet. Smaramondos. This is an uncharted system. Ping. Alright, it's one of these. You claim that you left the Sanctum Navis on the Lady Navigator's orders. Affirmative. Failed to inform the bridge about imminent jump. I want to know why. Data unavailable. Lady Navigator ordered that she be connected to the void ship, but did not order the preparation of machine spirits for warp translation. Cause a ritual that cannot be identified by this unit's capabilities. The unit received the command to interrupt protocol and exit the Sanctum Navis. No, please, not the fingers. I'm going to break every one for every word of a lie here coming from your mouth. Now talk. Please, you have to believe me. All we did was prepare the canvas and mix the Lady Navigator's blood into the paints. We were then told to lock open the shutters so that the Lord Captain could see everything that was going on inside the Sanctum Navis from the observation chambers. Grok's shit. Armorglass can't shield you from warp horrors. I swear it on my soul and the Golden Throne, Master Enforcer. Lady Navigator only wanted to paint a picture for the ritual, some such. That's all I know. She wasn't going to use the power in her eye. I still got as far away from there as I could. That's all I saw, I'm telling you. Before an emergency warp jump barely activated the Galler field in time and now being dragged to throne knows where by an unknown force, the Lady Navigator and the Lord Captain are still unaccounted for. Now tell me one more time, what transpired in the Sanctum Navis? I escorted the Lord Captain to the observation chambers and yelled at the servant for leaving the shutters open, but then was told it was on the rogue trader's orders. I could see the Lady Navigator clearly through the armor glass. She was lost in thought, staring at the canvas in front of her. She looked like she was completely unaware of the world around her. Soon the servants were ordered to leave the Sanctum Navis, and the Lady Navigator picked up her brush. Entranced, she started dragging it across the canvas, painting one image over another, and another one, and last, and another, and then the Lord Captain noticed that there was a thing on the other side. Picture covered in a layer of fresh blood was coming to life. The Lady Navigator was oblivious. This is when the Lord Captain dashed to the control panel, gave the order to shoot the window, called out to Lady Cassia. Let's just go with the control panel. I have no idea. I didn't dare to stop and just watched Bolter at the ready. Machine spirits went mad, doors and shutters started opening and closing at random. The road trader managed to dart inside. Startled by all the noise, the Lady Navigator turned around, and then those horrors in the painting, they broke free. What happened next? I barely remember a thing. There was a bright flash, a purple blur. I remember feeling so scared that my knees were shaking. I remember my legs carrying me away like they had a mind of their own. As I ran, I heard the screams behind me, the Lord Captain and Lady Cassia. Oh, good Emperor, the creatures, they pulled them both inside the painting. Mistress Vox, Master, I have a report that needs to be delivered to senior officers. Lord Captain and Lady Navigator were lost during the emergency warp jump. Their whereabouts are still unknown. The ritual did not go as planned. Warp disturbance triggered the Lady Navigator's trance, washed over the Sanctum Navis. The void ship's machine spirits reacted to the surge of immaterium and intercepted it as a call to action. And thus the emergency jump into the unknown began. Amid the shrieks of sirens, clanging of shutters, and the distant hum of the warp engines, some unknown will pulled the Lord Captain into the Sanctum Navis toward the creatures from the living canvas that had already gripped the Lady Navigator's throat. Horrified, almost out of breath and struggling to scream, Cassia stretched out her hand and began slowly sinking into her own painting. The Lord Captain snatched a dagger from the floor and started hacking at the hands reaching from inside the painting. Tried to escape. Grabbed the Lady Navigator's hands to try and pull her back out. The ritual dagger of House Orselio cleaved the billowing shadows, and yet the painted hand reformed itself the moment after the blade passed through it. Cassia went limp in the clutches of her horrific creation and was immediately pulled into the other side of the painting. A moment later, Edmund, still clutching the dagger, likewise plunged into the depths of the world the Lady Navigator had created. He found himself in the middle of a gigantic, boundless, billowing nothingness. His body felt weightless, floating in the void, strewn with hundreds of the Lady Navigator's colours, some of them bright, warm and alluring, others morose, cold and heavy. The captain reached for the bright colours, swam towards the dark colours, closed his eyes and remained adrift in the weightlessness. Reached for the bright colours! And then plunged into a river of bright hues and flashes of rosy sunset, and Lilith carried down the dazzling stream. Before long, the Lord Captain was standing in an idyllic garden, permeated with the fragrance of flowers and the singing of birds. Servants in purple livery darted back and forth, attending to a withered old woman in a navigator's mask. Sitting on her lap and smiling coyly to everyone was a little girl with ruby eyes and white hair. Be a good little girl, my child, until the day we meet again. With trembling hands, the woman handed the girl to a navigator in laboratory attire. I am out of time. Prepare the child for the Atlas transfer and destroy all records and mentions of the world of RTV. None must learn of that which took place here. Remember, her body must grow strong for it to accept my power. And once I have returned, loyalty will be rewarded. The memory dissipated, and a gust of silvery wind hurled the captain back into the ocean of nothingness, but this time the nothingness felt dismal. Instead of bright hues, all it contained was shadows of invisible monsters swimming by. Time for the dark colours. Greyish-blue waves swallowed the Lord Captain, and the feeling of lightness disappeared as his limbs grew heavy again. Edmund fell on the hard floor of a laboratory cluttered with vats as tall as a human. Inside them were dozens, hundreds even, of repulsive mutants. Some have no arms, no legs, 2 heads or no face, their innards turned inside out, but each had white skin, white hair, long clawed limbs, and ruby eyes. My lady, the child is born. The tall old woman slowly approached one of the vats. Readings stable, mutations none detected. Genes identical, my lady. Chance of survival 100 times higher than any of the previous experiments. How long will it take to grow this child? I fear accelerating the process might cause the body to fail. The only one after years of silence understands the situation. Natural growth, I do not have that much time. We will have to go with the backup plan. Yes, Novator, it will be done. The memory dissipated in a gust of silvery wind, hurled the Lord Captain back into the ocean of nothingness, but this time the nothingness fell dismal. Okay. Edmund stayed in the ocean of nothingness, devoid of any sensation or emotion, until an ornate ritual dagger floated before his eyes and reminded him of a world that once seemed more real than this one. Someone's scream broke the delicate equilibrium of the Lord Captain's motionless body, and the weightlessness released him. He plummeted into a maroon abyss of roiling illusions, but was now in full control of his body again. He descended into the abyss towards the screams. The Lord Captain crashed from an immeasurable height to the bottom of the rolling abyss. In the next moment, Edmund saw 2 figures amid the billowing maroon mist. One of the figures, unnaturally gaunt and tall, was clutching the other, a smaller one in its claws, screaming furiously. He peered into the strange mist, succeeded. In the swirling mist all around him, Edmund could make out human faces stricken with torment, and not just human faces. There were Xenos, Eldari, and creatures fused together with those of humans that made the Crimson Spectres look all the more abominable. Their gazes and their rage were directed at 2 unmoving figures facing each other. One step, it was all it took for some unknown force to notice the Lord Captain, seize him and drag him through the painting's twisted space. Now the Lord Captain could clearly see the dark shade of the long-dead navigator leaning over Cassia. Clutching her neck in its clawed fingers, the shade screamed. You were given life because of me, you survived because of me, and here you are now because I have willed it so. Bow before me, tell me what I wish to hear, and your suffering will end. Go on, child, I have waited so long, submit to me. Cassia looked exhausted, her body covered in thin cuts, her lip lacerated, claw marks on her cheeks, yet the steadfast resolve in her eyes. I know who you are, Tisiphone Orselio, and I know that what you crave. I saw it in the visions that you sent me again and again. I won't allow you. I will never allow you to become me. Cassia's fatigued voice quivered, but she was not about yet to yield in this battle. Stab her with the dagger! The silvery blade whistled through the air and Chisvali let out a horrible howl as her skeletal figure flew upward and scattered into black ash, and with that it was all over at last. Approving groans came from the maroon mist, and the faces of humans and Eldarli slowly evaporated along with the dead Novea. The Lady Navigator opened her eyes, the space around her changed. Bright colours drove the mists away, and the faintest light somewhere very high above reminded the rogue trader of the world he had left on the other side of the canvas. The Lady Navigator gracefully cut him with a tired smile. The abortive ritual had turned out to be a trap set for Lady Cassia by the previous navigator of her house. But the rogue trader had ensured that her plan fell to ruin, and now it was time to desert that accursed place. Cassio took the road trader's hands and guided him through the maroon mist out of the painting. Their unconscious bodies were discovered in Sanctum Navis 20 Terran days later after their disappearance, as soon as the rogue trader's void ship had emerged from the warp in an unknown system. Okay. And here we are in Purple Land. Oh, weren't we looking for burning worlds at one point? Guess we just found one. Oh, we found an Eldari something. Crone world. Okay, I'm going to say that's it for now as we're out of time. I've got to level up all my characters as well. Probably have a fight here or something. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.